Hey guys, I'm the #1 Challenger Katarina main. I have over 2 million Katarina mastery points and have over 5,000 games. I've been hitting Challenger playing Katarina since Season 7 and peaking rank 2 on the leaderboard. This video is going to include when to play AD Katarina and how to play it. Let's get into it. Katarina's passive is Veracity. It makes all of your abilities cooldowns decrease by 15 seconds, which means all your skills will reset off a kill. This means that Katarina will usually be used as a cleanup champion, because low health targets are easy resets. Now let's talk about Katarina's Q, Bouncing Blade. This ability doesn't scale with AD, which means it will max at second. Katarina will throw a dagger at the selected target and will always land behind the selected target, no matter what it bounces to. Remember, the drop daggers scale better with AD in the early game. Katarina's W is Preparation. This is the ability will max last. All it does is increase the movement speed slightly when you press W. This will almost always be used after you E in first. Katarina's E is Shumpo. This is her most important ability when playing AD Katarina. This is because it is the only ability that scales off AD and will lower the cooldown. Katarina's E is actually a blink, not a dash, even though the game says it's a dash. This also means that you can dash over Veigar cages without getting stunned. This will apply all on hit effects, which means it's basically an auto attack. Katarina's ultimate is Death Lotus. This applies all on-hit effects from every item we buy. Katarina's ultimate will target 3 of the closest champions to her and apply grievous wounds. Katarina's ultimate will always be comboed with a W. With AD Katarina, always max your E, then your Q, and then your W. There are only 2 combos you should be using to trade in lane. EWQ with autos in between the spells, and then E out, or QE onto a dagger, W and E out. The biggest issue I see with low rank Katarina mains is that they don't use the full area of their daggers correctly. You should be using the edges, not the middle. Another issue is that they think Katarina's ulti is the most important ability, when it probably does the least amount of damage out of every ability you have on AD Katarina. You should always make sure you're saving your ulti until the very end, because it will probably do 0 damage until you have 3 items. Remember with this build that you're a fighter, not an assassin. Take extended trades and not the short ones. AD Katarina is all about weaving autos with your Shumpo. This is because you can use your E as an auto attack reset. I highly recommend going into practice tool and practicing the auto weaving like this. Notice how my first combo did 1075 damage and my second combo did 1613. This is because the second combo had my auto attacks weaved into it. Look to always use this auto weaving technique in laning phase, or you'll have no success playing AD Katarina. The last combo I want to talk about is when someone's face checking you. Drop your W and then E on top of them as the dagger is about to land. This will maximize the instant surprise damage you do to them. E again with a Q and then walk into the dagger. Early game you will always start longsword through potions. This will transfer your adaptive damage to AD. You want to play safe level 1 and attempt to all-in trade your laner at level 2. If you cannot kill him, try again at level 3. Katarina is one of the best skirmishing champs in the game. You always want to fight with your jungler if you can. Make sure to communicate bot dives with your jungler if you've shoved your minions under the tower. Mid-game Katarina is all about team fighting. All the best Katarina players in the world have 6.5 to 7 CS per minute. This means that we're shoving side lane, but we always want to group back up afterwards. AD Katarina is the only build where Katarina can actually stay in the side lane longer than usual. This is because her 1v1 power is actually stronger than the AP build. Make sure to always have pink wards to stop yourself from dying in a side lane. Even if you aren't planning to leave the side lanes, stay out of vision and pressure the enemy team. This makes them think that you might be roaming and are ready to get some free kills in mid lane. AD Katarina in late game is not as strong as AP, although the early and the mid game is a lot better. She should be played as a bruiser and soak up all the damage in the team fights. If she's not dealt with, she'll probably kill your ADCs anyways. In my opinion, there are only 2 completely unplayable matchups for Katarina. This section might differ depending on if you're going AP or AD Katarina. If you want me to make individual matchup guides, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. The first matchup is Vex. This champion, if played correctly, won't let you kill her and shoves waves faster than you, so you won't be able to roam. The only way to win this matchup is if she uses her Fierce stupidly, or you get fed off a skirmish with your jungler. The second matchup is Vladimir. This champ will always out-trade you after level 2, and he has the same amount of pushing power as you, and the only way you can really get fed is by roaming, and getting fed elsewhere. Personally, I always ban Vex because Vladimir has never played. AD Katarina runes should always be Conqueror. This is because of how quickly she stacks it up and transfers all of your damage into bonus AD. Run Triumph because the other 2 runes are useless for Cat, and if there's a lot of CC or an average amount, run Tenacity. If they run a comp with no CC, you can run Alacrity for better early game dueling. Use Coup de Grace because if you're winning, you'll always be able to use it. Last Stand can only be used if you're dying. Note that some Katarina mains actually prefer Last Stand because the stats are a little bit better on it. but personally, I think Coup de Grace is better because you can always use it if you're winning. As for the secondary page, you have two choices, Sudden Impact with Ingenious Hunter, or Bone Plating with Overgrowth. Also take attack speed in your third page for laning power. I would play AD Katarina if there's a lot of bruises or tanks. Divine Slanderer's ability is Spellblade. After using an ability, your next attack is enhanced with an additional 12% target current health physical damage. This means that tanks will take way more damage than squishies. Also, the mythic passive is Percentage Magic Pen and Armor Pen. This means that tanks will get shredded by this item. No other AP item in the game has Percentage Magic Pen except for Void Staff. Always start Longsword 3 pots. On your first back, you should be looking to buy a pickaxe or a Vamp Scepter. This will build into Bork. This item is the best power spike on Katarina in the game. If you are versing double AP, let's say Evelynn and an Orianna mid lane, you can go Wit's End after your Bork, and go Sundra as your third mythic item. AD Katarina is the only build where tier 2 boots is not as important. I'll normally stay on my tier 1 boots until I have Sundra and Bork. Your tier 2 boots will always be defensive, it's either Mercs or Ninja Tabi. The standard build will always be Bork into Sundra into Titanic. After this you can build Death's Dance, and for your 5th item it will depend on the game. Just remember, you don't always have to go full AD Katarina and you can build a hybrid build. I'm going to cover this in another video later on. Thank you guys for watching my AD Katarina guide, and if you guys have any other questions, feel free to join my Discord in the description below, or come ask me on Twitch, I'm live every day. I hope this helps you guys win your games, and make sure to share this with your friends.